Hello, everyone. Welcome to Plein Air Easton 2020. What a day. If you're out there watching on YouTube, just quite an experience today. A ton of hard work went into that, from managing, the signs that were out in the streets to how we could do it safely. Just a ton of work from the Avalon Foundation. Marie, Al, Scott, Susie, Jess, really were, Kimberly, of course, big leaders in getting all that done today. And just Scott, you're behind the camera now. What did you think about today? I mean, how it was, it was just a great, I think, and we heard from, a lot of people who said that they also really enjoyed the whole thing. I think getting out, it was strange for everybody to be back out with the group of people at probably arguably one of the safest things that you can do right now in the world. So what a thrill, and we really want to thank you all very much for coming out there and being a part of that sort of very unique, brand new Meet the Artist dinner. Typically that goes with a 10, 58 artists, 200 do that this year. So it really meant a ton. So again, thank you. This works that you might not have gotten to see today, but you went around to all the places. Those paintings, right? Extremely importantly, in this year, a gift that somebody you want to buy for somebody down the road. Maybe their birthday's in September or the holidays. Maybe you got a spot in your house that, yeah, that painting fits perfectly. I also talked to a gentleman the day who said he buys a lot of artwork, and I said, well, how do you hang it all? And he says, well, you change your art with the seasons. Every season I'll put, so if you think you have too many paintings because you've been supporting this event for a long time or you don't have any wall space, maybe consider that, because it's a really important year for us. And again, we want to thank you. Dina, are we ready to go ahead? Anybody else want to hop in here? We're going to go ahead and start talking about these paintings today. I was at Hamden Town, Hamden. we nicknamed it Hamden Town. Hamden Town. So I don't know exactly where all these were, but they're lovely. I love this. This is by Elena Babcock, Babak. This is down at I'm going to guess Cloris Point. Yeah, I think it's Cloris Point. I love the sort of swampy area, the way she handled that with the color. It's just a lovely, lovely painting. The boats out there, she really captured the light. It's really interesting. They're not just painting; they're trying to capture the light. And if you really look at the paintings, like how did they do that? This is Jill Basham. You want to switch that other one out, Al? Now, this is Jill Basham. This is you're on Tyler's camera there. This is Jill is. I think Elena is from Maine. Jill is from right here in Talbot County. Just a lovely expansive sort of, I don't know where that was taken there. That was done. I'm sorry, I can't tell you that. But there's a Jill Basham shot. This looks like Tim Bell. Tim, both Jill, Elena, and Tim are previous winners of Plein Air Easton, for different sort of categories. This purple, he's really sort of, I haven't seen him use those type of colors before. So it's a beautiful shot, a beautiful painting from Tim Bell. This one here is another great painter, and people Zufar Bikboff. Just what an interesting subject to pick. You can see the shadows there. The cows were doing what they do, getting a drink in the muddy water, and you can see the shadow. They picked the smart place along with the chickens there to find the shade and have a drink. And then this is Thomas Bucci. Thomas, excuse me, it's a watercolor. Just a lovely way he's got the trees sort of bringing it down the lane with the gentleman and the wheelbarrow there. We've got just a lovely. You want to pan back and get a shot of all those again, Tyler, maybe? And so that's the first 5. We've got another few paintings to go through, another 20 paintings to go through, I believe. Also, just to let you know, so what's going to happen this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, these 33 painters are going to be out in Tillman Island, St. Michael's, Oxford, and Easton, painting the different areas, and they will switch between each town each day. So one group will paint in East, around all day. They will bring the town to the old news center, the current. If you come, for sure. Just a lovely little beach shot there. The Riprap next to it, and sort of like draws you into the kind of I don't know if you call it loose style. I'm learning about this as well, but it's been a real pleasure to be able to learn about this as I've been participating in this the last 16. Henry Coe. I don't have on these paintings. I wish I knew where they were. Shot. It was out today. We had a little thread of clouds. It looks like maybe he saw that coming across the water. This was at Hamden Town Station is what we called it today. This is Dave Shant, and this one is sold. You cannot buy this painting. It's just so you know. I think all the other ones that we've talked about so far have not been sold. This one you cannot buy. If you want to buy a painting, you can call. We're on the hotline now. Are there people watching online, Jess? You can call if you see something you love. Hopefully the shot does the painting justice. We're going to go back to Henry Coe here. Henry Coe is sold as well. Again, we're doing all this on the fly. It's a brand new year. We've never done any of this before. So just bear with us as we go through this. Dave painted the entryway to that lovely house. We had the book out there on the house. that house was just incredibly old and just and extremely, extremely nice host. I had the pleasure of working with those folks today. This is David Diaz out of Annapolis. Really, again, capturing the light. He's got the bushes there, the plants, just really nice. There's probably a perfect spot in your house for that somewhere. This was also down at Hamden Town Station is what we called it. This is Jill Glassman. She's from Ocean City. The family was really happy that she took that angle on that. I do know talking to her about that. And she worked on that all day, not all day, for 3 or 4 hours. What interested me about this was she really did capture how old that house was in the way she handled the bricks. I thought, again, I'm not the person to talk about this probably, but the purple and the blue up there in the trees really kind of interested me. Anyway, that's the next group of paintings that we went through. Again, these are all for sale. Dave Shant and Henry Coe have been sold. It's going to a little bit too, just so you know. Typically at a demo, the artist paints, can gather around, sort of, kind of bunch up like we used to do pre-pandemic, and the artist paint. This year, I believe these are ticketed events. Is that correct? I'm not sure at this point, but they will limit it. And all of this information is available on pleinaireaston.com. Okay, so let's go back. We've got a couple more here. Tyler, you ready? Susie, you want to watch out for a second? Okay, so we'll take our time. That's okay. This is Neal Use. Neal, this is available as well. Neal Use, if you ever get a chance to talk to him while he's painting, is just a really cool conversation. So that's all I can really say about Neal. I totally do. He's very laid back and a wonderful painter here, as you can see. I really love the color of the water that he captured there, leading up and the change in the water. Again, capturing the light on the water there. Just another wonderful painting by Neal Use. Here we go. Paulden Hamilton. Paulden is from Baltimore still, and he's been here for 3 or 4 years. He's been here in Plein Air Easton 3 or 4 years, 3 or 4 times at least. Just a wonderful job with that flower garden there, and the way the dimension, how he went back, and he's got the tree as the main focus, with lights, with the water in the background. Just a lovely job, and he brings this painting here in the forefront. I guess gives it kind of dimension and leads you sort of into the painting. Again, that painting is available as well. Lovely, lovely colors in that. This next one, Easton local favorite, Stephen Griffin. This painting is sold, correct? Yes. So Stephen is an incredibly trained classical painter. I'm going to tell you something. He does incredible, incredible portraits. I'm not going to talk about that, but he's a wonderful, wonderful painter. I think this is kind of loose strokes, and just you can see the golden feel, that golden color that we get around here when the sun kind of beats up on the grain, and lovely sky there as well from Stephen Griffin. And this is Ken Karluk. Sure, we're going to stop right here right now. A tighter shot, Tyler. Okay, so you got it good. You don't see many abstracts, and I'm not sure this is exactly an abstract. He normally uses watercolors. This year, Ken is using acrylics, and I know there are some Ken Karluk collectors out there. I love this painting. I think that it's, you know, just it's kind of right up my alley, actually. And you know, I love these type of paintings of what I can continually see in them every time I look at them every time I look at them after the first time. So that's Ken Karluk. And then we have Tim Kelly. Tim, if you follow Tim Kelly on Facebook, you'll know how Easton, you know, this is a big, wonderful week for him. And this is one of the ones he sold. I know he sold a couple paintings today. He really does an incredible job with where he, you know, how he sees the light and the way he gets the colors in there. And, you know, you can see the way, you know, he handled the oil drum there. Just wonderful, Tim. And the different color bricks in the center, which is really interesting as well. Oh, that's this chimney. This looks like this is at Beauvoir. And that's the side of that house. This one is sold. You cannot buy this one. And how are we looking on the shots, Tina? So we're close. Is that close enough for everybody? Jess, if we're hearing, we're gonna go back. Again, all of this information, there's, you know, the web page changed as well. If you go on pleinair-easton.com, you will see the list of events from the originally planned 2020 16th year. By the way, we're not celebrating this as the 16th year. Imagine Plein Air Easton is what this is. I don't know how they handle the 16th or 17th year next year, but I'm sure they'll come up with something creative about it. But you can go online to see all of these events on Plein Air Easton. We will also be posting on Facebook, Instagram all week long to just keep the energy up, keep you excited about it. Again, it's a very important week for us, and we appreciate everything that you guys did today to get the week started, and we're hoping for a great time the rest of the week. This painting here is Melanie Landreth. It's a very interesting take. I'm not sure exactly where that is. You know, it's something, again, probably a perfect spot. She was at Otwell. This is at Otwell. I've been, okay, yeah, now I've got it. Just, you know, that's the great thing with coming to Plein Air Easton and coming in here and looking at all these things. Everybody has a different style. There's a million, not a million, there's just a lot of different ways to do this. And obviously, you know, that's a very fine painting right there. This is Kirk Larson. Oh, Kirk, I guarantee you if there's one person that you'll get to know this week, one of the painters, it will probably be Kirk Larson. He's quite a character, great guy, wonderful heart, and just has an excitement for pretty much anything he does. He sewed masks for every single artist, and I wouldn't expect him to do anything else. You know, every year he always does something creative in promoing Plein Air Easton, and he's loved the event for a long time. We're really glad to have him back. This is a lovely, lovely sort of field and trees on the Eastern Shore. Very, very sort of emblematic and symbolic of the Eastern Shore. The clouds there are wonderful as well. And you can see that the dark green he puts into that tree to kind of go against those clouds. Again, I could be totally wrong about that, but it's fun talking about it. This is Georgianne Lesson. The thing that gets me here is this pink. You know, and it's a rose. It's just I love the blue sky and the texture of the cloud in the back there. Just a wonderful, wonderful piece of, you know, again, all different styles here at Plein Air Easton. This is Mick McAndrews. Mick McAndrews, I love that name. Mick, where was this? Duval. What a wonderful looking rendering of that old house cottage there, with the two porches on the side. Mick, this is first year for Mick here as well. I don't think I've heard that name here. Mick, if you're out there watching, welcome. Again, wonderful, wonderful. Brown. You didn't see a whole lot of brown done today, really. He handles the azaleas there, the bushes and the chairs. And then this is Kate McGraw. They're asking for prices.
Which ones do they want?
Okay, that's great. Kate McGraw, the price on that one is not really going to matter because it's sold. I can start saying the prices if we want to get those.
I got the prices right here.
Okay. Mick McAndrews is $900. We're gonna go back. We're gonna wait to do that because we're gonna go back to the beginning. Again, don't forget the demos. People will be painting. The painters will be painting outside all week. Give them space. Make sure you come down and visit the expo hall. It's 11,000 square feet, wide open areas, and come in. If you want to spend a half an hour taking a look, you can come back the next day and spend another half hour. But come and take a look at the artwork. I think whatever you buy this year, you're never going to forget it. That's kind of my guarantee for this year. We're going to go here. This is a lovely. Where was this? Mary Negrone. She was at Beauvoir. This is $1,100. The beautiful colors in those greens there. And the way she kind of like leaves the center of the painting without the haze and kind of draws in the haze on the side. Just a wonderful, wonderful job there. Very lovely. This is Charlie Newman. That is, I'm not. It's called, yeah, okay, it's wood. It's wood. It looks like wood pallets, picnic tables, sort of industrial. He did that, Harley, that's $650. Charlie, nice job there. Again, you can see the sun capturing the light, the heat of the day. This is Elise Phillips, Cloris Point. You can't buy this one because this is sold. Elise always does, well, she would say she doesn't, but Elise is a great, great friend of ours and always does very, very well here. So you can look for more art like that from Elise this week. Catherine Riedinger, she's new. Looks like she had a good first day here. She sold this. This was at Cloris Point as well. And she's from Idaho and flew in from Idaho. Just a lovely, lovely beach scene and really got the trees and that angle that we all see with the boat going up the river. Really, really wonderful painting there, Catherine. And this is lovely too. This is John Schisler. Excuse me. It was Duval, done in Duval. It's $850. Just a lovely, lovely take on that. Excuse me, cabin that's out there on at Duval, and just you can see the shadows. And sometimes what I find with paintings is some of them you want to look up close at, and some of them you want to see from down the hallway. And because they look, the shadows that they create look really just even, somehow. Dave Grafton used to paint like that. He said, he'd say, oh, you're a little too close. Stand back about 6, 7 feet, and then look at there. And it's like, yep, he's exactly right. So there's paintings, again, that are, this painting kind of reminds me of something like that as well. So we're almost wrapping this up. We do want to thank, so on these Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday nights, that these folks, Wednesday days that these folks are painting, excuse me, there will be awards each night. And we'll broadcast those for you as well to watch. And we want to thank Tally and Scott Asplund for their sponsorship of that. They are big supporters of the event, have been for a long time, extremely generous and understand and value what the Avalon's trying to do with this event. And they are sponsoring that event, and we really want to thank them. Every night there will be awards, there'll be judges. I know that the new person at the Art Academy will be a judge here. I'm not sure exactly whoever judge is. Excuse me. I think you can see that in your pamphlet that you got today. But every night that will be happening. They'll be judging you and bringing those paintings back here. This looks like John Brandon Sills. Sold today. John's been selling paintings here for a lot of years, and just another great sort of when he doesn't. I haven't really seen John bring in the trees like he did in this so specifically. He tends to paint sort of a aura about his paintings, and you can kind of see that a little bit. And he's got a lot of flowers in this one too as well. We have a John Brandon Sills at home, and love that painting. I look at it all the time, every day. Not all the time, every day, all the time. This is the Nancy Tankersley, another one that's sold as well. Nancy's just does a wonderful. I mean, she's a great painter. I mean, she's been around here for a long time. She's had a studio here. She's got a great eye. She's an artist through and through, and not that all of them are. I just know Nancy a little bit better. That's all. This is some. I don't know where she was today, but that Otwell capturing the farm life. She also did, I think, a beach chair that's back here as well. That is totally different from this, but you can tell it's a Nancy Tankersley. And so this is Troy Tatlock. Troy, the first thing I noticed about this is, for me, is how the frame fits right into the painting. It's the darkness of the shade that he captured there. Looks like there might be some sort of something coming in from the side with the boats in the background. Lovely version of that tree. I mean, really, really nice tree. It's at Beauvoir. It's $1,100. Again, Nancy and Brandon are both sold. This is Mary Vega. I watched her paint this today. I love going down the lane shots. Whenever we do one of these events, there's always an incredibly long lane, and I always wonder why the painter doesn't paint that, because I feel like it would sell. And Mary painted that today. I didn't talk to her, and it sold. I just think it's a wonderful look. Now, I did get to talk to her about this. She said she was kind of thinking of the protection that the trees bring over the lane, and that was kind of what she was thinking about when she was painting that painting. And this is Stuart White. Stuart painted a lovely little vintage birdhouse. It was at Harley. This is $950. Stewart, he moved east, and I think partly he's been involved with Plein Air Easton, been a part of Plein Air Easton for a long time, and he moved here. I think he fell in love with Easton over the course of coming to these events, and he has moved here now. Stewart is a wonderful, wonderful painter. I think he paints both in a couple different mediums, and these flowers, I think, are sort of like a sense of whimsy that kind of match that bird feeder there, and the top of that bird feeder is very interesting as well. So, Jess, how are we looking online? Is there people still watching, or have I bored them to death? Is my mom on? We're going to wrap this up. Do we want anything else to talk about before we're going to try and do this very quickly? And again, we don't want to be doing this in the building too long. Come and see him starting Monday. We're open 10 to 8 here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, come in for a half an hour, 45 minutes. Go outside, talk about it, come back in. You can move in and out. There's plenty of room. They're going to limit the amount of people that will be in here to guarantee to make it as safe as we can for anybody who comes down. This is Tara Will. This is pastel. So this is pastel in glass. I probably passed by 10 pastels so far, but this pops to me as a pastel. What an interesting take. I mean, I love, the other thing I love about watching these paintings develop is the eye of the shooter, or the eye of the person who's actually, sees that and says, that's it. That's what I want to paint today. I see the light coming in on there, and that's what I'm going to do today. That's really, really interesting to me.
She was
She was at Harley where the gardens are. She had to be like this far away from the leaf there. It's $2,500. Marie, come on over. I want to talk about the pandemic stamp. A lot of people were asking about that today. They wanted to make sure that the paintings were stamped for the pandemic stamp. This is another case of me not knowing that something like was going to be. Some things I get right occasionally. Oh, I think that's a good idea. We should do that. The pandemic stamp, I was like, I didn't really get, at all. And people really love it. Marie, are you on there? You can just hold that up. You don't have to. Yeah, go ahead on in. Go ahead. This is Marie Nuttall. She is the executive director of this part of Plein Air. She's not. Go ahead, Marie. Oh, can you hear me? Okay, forget. Okay. Anyway, Marie, go ahead off. We shouldn't be that close to each other. Pandemic stamp. You want to get a shot of this? Scott, you got a shot of this? Here's the pandemic stamp. What I think is really cool about the pandemic stamp, and I'll be very candid about this, is that I think when you're watching Antique Roadshow in 2238, you're gonna bring a painting in and say, my grandmother gave this to me, and I don't, what's this painting about? And you're gonna say, well, it was by Tara Will, and they're gonna ask, what about the stamp on the back? They're gonna say that was when the pandemic in 2020 was going on. There's only 300 of these things being made in the world. So, again, are we out of paintings?
We are.
We've been through them all? How do we want to wrap this up? Jess, Al, you have anything you want to say real quick? Thank you all for watching, first of all. The sponsors, property owners. We want to thank all the property owners. If you guys want to tell me them, and I can say this on camera, because I don't know who they. Yeah, there's a pandemic stamp on the back. Al, do you want to try and hop in here real quick? Come on over, Al. I'm going to keep mine on too. Go ahead. Oh.
So we just want to take a moment and say thank you, certainly, to all the people who opened up their homes. Chip and Sally Ackridge, the Langs over in Hamden, everybody, all the way along, the Firth family, thanks, Tim, the Firth family at Beauvoir, and certainly Karen and Lance Weaver out at Cloris Point. The folks at Otwell have asked to stay anonymous, but we thank them from the bottom of our hearts too. Also, I think that it's so important to thank the Friends of Plein Air. Truly, what's going to make the Avalon here, what's going to make Plein Air Easton here next year, is the fact that you all stepped up this year. It makes the importance of contributed income to nonprofits, certainly the Avalon, is so great, because that is actually what carries us over, allows us to continue to program to the degree that it's safe to do so, and without that, we go away. So thank you all very, very much, Friends of Plein Air. Good evening.